Hi, it's beautiful to meet you. It's our last day of the year, meaning that now we're reaching our top 5 best album of the year. And to celebrate, the drink of the day will be some bubbles for the 5 best albums of the year. I really hope you guys had a great year. I did, indeed, but my New Year's resolution will come at the end. So without further ado, let me open up this cheeky little bottle and move to the top 5. That album became so much more to me than I expected to be. I wasn't at first really hyped out for the rollout or the album in general, even considering that Porter Robinson's Nurture became a very personal album to me when I moved countries. But in the end, Smile has managed to win me over with a great mix of techno and electropop. I absolutely love how, at least for the first 4 tracks, melodically this album is all party, but lyrically it's Porter Robinson dealing with a lot of his insecurities and concerns about parasocial relationships, which makes up for a very beautiful conundrum. The album has slowly but surely infiltrated my mind, and one-liners from it became a part of my lingo, so much that now I randomly just burst out, "Bitch, I'm Taylor Swift," on a randomness occasion. And with time I felt a really deep emotional connection with what was going on this record, so much that at this point Smile has become my go-to with both when I want to get hyped and both when I want to get sad. Smile is all around a banging pop record with the frontman of all that's going on it is Cheerleader, a beautiful mix of power rock, a little bit of emo, electronic music, and indie pop. I just absolutely fucking love it. Number 4. When I first heard the news of Black Midi breaking up, I was quite saddened. And the following news of the frontman Jordy Griep dropping an album made me a little bit skeptical. And oh boy, I was wrong. I've never bought an album so fast on my life. On the first day that it dropped, I only listened to Walk Up, which is technically only the 5th track on this record. I don't know if you can see it or not. And then I just went, yeah, I gotta hear it on vinyl. I gotta hear it live. Especially considering the fact that The Magician, the holy grail of Black Midi songs, is on this record, and I would say is back as never. Inspired by the likes of Steely Dan, Milton Nascimento, and Frank Zappa, the new sound is a masterpiece of prog rock. And the same with Black Midi's Hellfire, the new sound is a collection of this absolutely absurd expressionistic tales, which also thrive because of that persona of a gigolo Griep puts on, which a lot of people has been reluctant to, but not me. I seem to quite like it. Take all of this, mix it with batshit crazy melodies and progressions, and you get one of the most unforgettable albums of the year. And the song that has managed to win me over and represent this new sound we're talking about was Holy Holy, an energizing mix of Latin breaks, art rock progressions, all flavored with this insufferable story of a meet cute. I mean, it was like the album of the year. Brad was definitely the defining musical moment of the year. It has took over the internet, at least some parts of it. It has took over the marketing, and it managed even to influence political campaigns. And the only reason this album sits at number 3 is just at some point I simply became too exhausted from it, and I felt like I've been going insane, and that shade of green has been chasing me for quite a while. Even with that said, I've been waiting for this record ever since Von Dodge dropped, and I don't think there's a more perfect dance record to come out this year. Charlie XCX managed to hit everything on point. Club bangers, no skips, and even brilliant, sad, and vulnerable cuts are on there. Brad is everything you can wish for and more, and I don't think saying anything more about the album will do it any good, despite y'all should have been there since Anthems. And according to TMAs, I'm ready to nominate Sympathy as a Knife as the best song on the album. And I mean, try to argue with me in the comments. I swear to God, I will not do anything because I'm fucking scared of y'all. I think the shirt kind of sells it. Empire Weekend is a very personal band to me, and their return this year with their 5th album, Only God Was Above Us, was nothing short but exceptional, and I've been blessed to get to see them live on their last show of the tour. I will put the sentiments down for now, even though I could talk about this band for hours, but Only God Was Above Us showcases that even after so long into their career, Vampire Weekend has enough in their bag to surprise us. And this album has the band all over the place, doing everything starting from folk rock to indie pop to even some kind of a trip hop record with Mary Boone, and all of that works, producing some of the best material in the years and best in career. Ezra Conning is battling a lot on this record. He's reflecting on his personal growth, the growth of the band, and this album feels like this uncanny moment when you've managed to achieve everything you ever wanted in life, but there's also so much to do that you're kind of just there figuring out what could be the next move. Of course, while simultaneously feeling like a prep school gangster. And even though my heart belongs to the guitar melody on Gen X Cops, I have to award the best song on the album to Hope, which is also one of the best songs for the band in their whole discography in general. I'm so sorry to get us back into Music Corner, but I'm in the middle of packing right now, and I have to do the last album, and I have to pay my dues. So this is the best I can do, sadly, and right now I'm a prisoner of time for a bit. But without further ado, and keeping a little bit of substance, Tasha's Music Award, the album of the year, goes to... I mean, was there any way possible that I could make it more obvious than that? The feelings that I had while listening to this album for the first time were similar to the feelings I had when I listened to Discovery by Daft Punk for the first time. Imaginal Disc is the album I want to play while I'm partying, while I'm getting hyped, while I'm dancing, while I'm just doing my thing, while I'm biking, while I'm getting sad, while I'm falling in love, while I'm getting heartbroken, while I'm recovering. Any possible thing I want to do should be accompanied by this album, and I've never been obsessed with a piece of music for so long rather than before this album came out. And a lot of songs on this album, the way they are produced, the songwriting, how they make me feel, this album really reminded me why I learned to love music in the first place, why I fell in love with music as a concept. And I think just purely because out of this achievement, this album deserves to be the #1 album of the year. The story this album paints, the story of self-acceptance, love, and a little bit of partying in between, is accompanied by the beautiful synth-pop production that the band is very popular of, and why I fell in love with them in the first place. And I think Imaginal Disc is also that kind of an album which later on in my life I will show to my kids being like, yeah, that was the shit in my time. And to me, the whole thing is just addictive. This is the only album that came out this year when I tried to listen to one song, let's say for example Death and Romance, and I cannot listen to only one song, because then I'm like, oh yeah, but the Image comes before that, oh yeah, and the Fear Sex comes after it, and then Vampire in the Corner, and then Watching TV, and then Tunnel Vision. So I listen to the whole thing all over again, front to back, and it's really is an experience. This is the album that I've connected the most emotionally and I guess musically with this year. And if you have to ask me what I would nominate as the best song of the album, I can clearly say all of them. Just go and listen to it. I could have not recommended this album more to people rather than anything else this year. Just go listen to the whole thing, find out for yourself. And to me, the best tracks are every track on this record. And if I have to pick, well, if it's not the usual suspects such as Image, Death and Romance, or That's My Floor, I would say Watching TV and Vampire in the Corner. Those are the tracks that kind of went under the radar, but Watching TV literally made me cry at some point, and Vampire in the Corner is, I guess, my favorite love song that came out this year. And if you ever seen me around campus dancing, then most of the time, apart from Manning Fireworks, that was the album that I was listening to and bumping my head. Well, I don't think I can say anything more about this album, or I could have, but I guess Imaginal Disc deserves its own video that will go on for like 45 minutes with me reviewing and talking about every song. But for that, I must say that wraps up Tasha's Music Awards for 2024. And it's a little bit sad to end it, and recording it in a video format was quite an experience for me myself. But that was my top 15 best albums of the year. I would love to get to know yours, or any music at all that managed to catch your attention this year. Leave it in the comments, please. But I do think I want to do a little post-scriptum. I want to give you guys a New Year's resolution because my New Year's vacation is coming up. I'm right now packing my suitcase to go to Poland, and I do think I want to leave a little New Year's resolution for you here. This is time to reflect, so I wanted to say that this has been a beautiful year for music and experiences related to music for me. I've managed to go to so many great concerts. I've managed to meet so many new people because of that, and I think that is purely something magical about connecting with music that way. So my New Year's resolution for you is to listen to more music, listen to new music, explore your taste, widen it, broaden it. There's so much great music coming out, and that is why also partially I do this awards to kind of recommend also what I've been listening to throughout this year. And the best part about it is that if you live in the Netherlands, which I think most of my followers do, most of these artists, at least I guess at least 11 out of 15 listed, they always come here and they give out concerts with these albums that make up for an unforgettable experience with it. And I think go for it. Money will always return, time and experiences won't return. So this was it. This is my final note. I see you guys in the new year.